Hey guys. Welcome back to the channel. This is what if Naruto took care of Sasuke who turned into a baby. During Naruto's final battle against Sasuke, Itachi uses the power he gave him to clean Sasuke's soul and body from darkness by turning him into a newborn baby with no memories of his past. For how long can Naruto keep this a secret? Hit like and subscribe if you like this one, and also please check the author in the description. This part will cover chapters 1 to 6. Let's start. Chapter 1 Prologue Dream's End. When Tsunade announced the death of Uchiha Sasuke, the whole room was filled with silence. All ninjas in the room knew that, eventually, Sasuke would be killed, but the news was still a shock. Especially for those who had graduated with him. Shikamaru sighed deeply and watched Ino cry softly while Choji stroked her back. Not far behind them, Neji and Tenten stared solemnly at the Hokage with a resigned expression. As for Lee, he could only stare at the floor. Shino remained impassive and Kiba glanced at Hinata, who could not disguise the pain she felt for Naruto and the rest of Team 7. Kakashi placed a hand on Sakura's shoulder and looked at her sorrowfully. Both knew that the death of Sasuke could not be avoided, nevertheless meant the end of the original Team 7. Never again would all be together, never would they complete more missions together. The dream that they had tried to achieve for nearly 4 long years of hard work had died during the first hours of the morning of July 23rd. By the hand of Uzumaki Naruto. The person who had endeavored so much to bring Sasuke back, who never stopped believing in him, ended up being forced to be his executioner. Sakura felt her eyes burn and throat tighten at the thought that Naruto would have to bear that burden for the rest of his life, and could not help but feel guilty. After all, she herself had been unable to kill the former teammate. Sai and Yamato remained slightly apart from Sakura and Kakashi, knowing that nothing they say could comfort them. They needed time to mourn the death of Sasuke before they could continue with their lives. After warning all these ninja, Tsunade dismissed them and returned to her new cabinet. When Shizen asked her if she needed anything, she asked her to fetch some reports. When the assistant left, Tsunade took the letter she received from Naruto and burned it. Then she invoked the frog that had brought her the letter and gave him the letter she had written in secret. Thousands of miles from Konoha, Naruto had just read the letter that Tsunade had sent him. After burning it, he sighed with relief. Everything had gone as planned. He knew that right now, the name of Sasuke Uchiha was being erased from the bingo books around the world. The villages would cancel the orders of his capture and assassination, and over the years, they would forget him and the crimes he had committed. Naruto felt guilty as he remembered his team and all the friends he had left in Konoha. He sincerely was hoping that Sakura was not crying. He knew she was stronger than she looked and would eventually move on, as she did when Sasuke betrayed Konoha when they were children. Naruto knew he would not be able to return to Konoha so early or even have contact with the companions he had left. After all, he had lied to them. Beside him, lying on the sheets of an old futon of the small room of the inn he was staying, Sasuke was fast asleep. Chapter 2 Decision. Several months earlier, Uzumaki Naruto woke up from his nap due to a mighty bang on the wall of his apartment. The building next to his was still being rebuilt after Pain's attack, and the constant noise irritated Naruto to no end. All he wanted was a nap. Cursing to himself, the blonde slowly got from his bed and went to the balcony. The sun was about to go down, and the sky was changing into a bluish-pink color. The streets of Konoha were still filled with people, men having cold drinks, women shopping and chattering, and children playing. Naruto couldn't help to smile at a group of little boys who talked excitingly about how they were going to be ninjas. "I'm going to be super strong," yelled one of them. "Just like the Sannin. Everybody is going to know my name." "Baka! You're not even in the academy yet." "I'm going to do it. You'll see." "My Nisan said that I'm very good at throwing shurikens," said one of them, glowing with pride. "I'm going to be great shinobi just like him and Ota-san." Another kid jumped in front of his friends and spread his arms. "I want to be a great ninja hero," he said, "just like Naruto-sama." The other boys started laughing, claiming that there was no way he could be that strong. Naruto-sama saved the world. My Two-san said he is the most powerful ninja in the world. There is no way you can be like him. Naha! Naruto-sama is going to be next Hokage. So stop saying stupid things. Naruto laughed a bit as the kids disappeared behind a corner. Konoha was still being rebuilt after Pain's attack, but fortunately, the village didn't suffer any heavy damages during the Fourth Ninja War. He had managed to keep it safe. Madara was dead. Akatsuki was disbanded. Kabuto disappeared. Sasuke. Naruto's eyes became empty, remembering his former comrade. He came back to his room, sat at the edge of his bed and picked up his favorite photo. Unlike reality, pictures don't change regardless of the passage of time. Sasuke. I really wished I could have saved you. His fight against Sasuke was the most difficult and intense battle that he had ever had. When Naruto claimed victory, Sasuke was lying down on the floor baffled, unable to believe that he had been defeated by the dobe he always loathed. Naruto had reached out his hand to Sasuke, filled with hope that he had saved him from his hatred, his darkness. By acknowledging his strength, he was sure Sasuke would realize Naruto's friendship. Instead, Sasuke glared at him, his eyes filled with murderous rage and shame before disappearing into the woods. And Naruto had let him go. As an international criminal, Sasuke was searched for months by every single village in the world. Their orders were to kill on sight, but Sasuke was never found. It was like he had vanished from the face of the earth. Until 2 months ago. Guren-san! Let's go eat something! Yelled a familiar child's voice from outside. Calm down. We'll eat in a second. Recognizing the voices, Naruto left his house and ran into the packed street. Walking not too far from him, he saw them. Guren! Yukimaru! Cried the blonde ninja, running towards them. Guren looked surprised before giving Naruto a wide grin. Yukimaru merely smiled happily. Well, well, long time no see, said the proud woman, while holding Yukimaru's hand gently at the same time. Naruto-san! Exclaimed Yukimaru. It's nice to see you at last, declared Naruto, remembering the last time he had seen Guren, falling into a lake surrounded by her own crystal. You guys really scared me. I'm sorry, Naruto-san. We didn't mean to scare you. Yukimaru looked truly upset. Bah! It's okay. I'm just glad you're fine. Guren's smirk grew even more. Still the same idiot. So what brings you guys here? Are you sightseeing? Asked Naruto, curious. Guren and Yukimaru looked at each other, frowning. What's wrong? Naruto asked. We came to Konoha to deliver some information, explained Guren. We just came back from your Hokage's office. Naruto blinked. Information? About what? Guren sighed loudly. About Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto felt his heart beat faster, and his mouth became dry. How many did he kill this time? He asked. Guren looked Naruto in the eyes and paused. How could she tell him this? About 300 villagers and a few ninjas. Naruto felt his eyes burning. 300? It was even more than the last time. We were passing by when we saw the survivors trying to flee from the village. I told Gozu to look after Yukimaru and I went there. The Uchiha, he was laughing around the corpses, screaming your name. Naruto gulped. Not again. He also appeared to be talking to his brother and parents like they were there cheering him on. Then, he dismembered a child. I hope she was already dead. Naruto couldn't hear it anymore. He didn't want to hear more. But he had to know Sasuke's atrocities because Sasuke was killing because of him. I am so sorry, Naruto. It wasn't hard to notice that Sasuke was responsible for the obliteration of the villages. He was recreating the Uchiha clan massacre in each one, and taking great pleasure with it. Most wounds had been done by the Chidori. Kakashi had made the observations himself. The jutsu he had created to protect loved ones was now being used to destroy them. Naruto knew his sensei felt guilty for teaching Sasuke the jutsu he used to end so many people's lives. but not as guilty as I am. Sasuke was trying to draw him into battle. The accounts of survivors of the 12 villages that he had wiped out were essentially all the same. A red-eyed boy had entered the village and declared that he would reduce it to dust. When villagers tried to attack, he killed them before engaging with all others. Men and women, young and old, nothing stopped the Uchiha. All who crossed his path got killed by being stabbed by his Chidori, burned alive or crushed by a black monster that engulfed him like a protective demon, Susanoo. And Sasuke would just laugh. The boy that Naruto thought and admired like an older brother, for whom he would willingly give his own life, had become a monster. Sasuke screamed for Naruto while killing, declaring that he was the strongest, that Naruto was a coward, a weakling who had managed to win out just by a matter of luck. "You see, Naruto?" he shouted with a devilish smile disfiguring his once attractive face. "You were never stronger. Never. Come fight me and I'll show you. Come and fight me, motherfucker." Naruto had wanted to intervene, but Tsunade would not let him. It was too dangerous, and would be giving Sasuke exactly what he wanted, attention and sense of power over him. Other ninjas had intervened, not only from Konoha but from all villages known. The death toll rose, insanity gave strength to the last Uchiha alive. Naruto couldn't take it anymore. After saying goodbye to Guren and Yukimaru, went directly to the new office of the Hokage. The building was very similar to the previous one and still smelled of fresh paint, but Naruto was so fixed that he didn't even notice its new look or the curious stares of the ninjas who he crossed paths with. At the Hokage's door, he opened it with a bang. Tsunade and Shizen were in the office, both surrounded by mountains of documents that threatened to fall upon them like an avalanche of white papers. Seeing the young blonde, Tsunade frowned angrily. "Naruto! What is the meaning of this?" she shouted intensely, while Shizen flinched. "Ba-chan, I can't sit back any longer. I'm going to find Sasuke, even if it is without your permission." Tsunade leaned back in her chair and huffed irritably. She had a feeling that Naruto would show up today. "We've had this conversation, Naruto," she said, trying to keep herself calm. "Am I just supposed to let you go and fight him?" "I'm the only one who can defeat Sasuke," Naruto replied. "You said it yourself." "But you want to defeat him alone. Can you imagine the stupidity of what that means? Sending more ninjas against him will only result in more dead. Sasuke is my responsibility. I want to deal with him alone." Tsunade rested her elbows on the table and looked Naruto in the eye. The boy had grown, there was no doubt about that. Nevertheless, Naruto was still a boy, and boys make mistakes. "Are you able to kill him, Naruto? Would you accept the mission to eliminate Sasuke Uchiha?" Naruto gulped. The question hit him like a slap. Could he kill Sasuke? During the war he had been as close to die as to kill his best friend, and he knew he would be able to get both. But going after Sasuke now would not be a mission to convince him to return home. He had no home, too many crimes had been committed. The whole world wanted to see him burn, and he would not stop until the whole world burned. Naruto imagined his original dream, Team 7 gathered laughing together, preparing for a new mission. Kakashi-sensei with his pornographic book in hand, Sakura-chan among them smiling, Naruto always trying to draw attention to him, while Sasuke called him Uzuratanki. They should all be chunins by this now. Sasuke would probably be a jonin. They would have the longest record of successful missions. Sasuke would eventually rebuild his clan, Sakura would become the best medical ninja on Earth, and Naruto would be named Hokage. That was how things should have happened. Remembering the old team, Naruto finally realized the harsh reality. He had been so stupid, so naive. Itachi was right. He was just a child full of impossible dreams. The Sasuke I knew will never come back. The hatred of the Uchiha consumed him completely. "So, Naruto?" Naruto glanced up and stared at the Hokage with a dejected determination. "Yes, Bachan. I accept." Chapter 3: Reborn from the Ashes. It was nearly 5 o'clock when Naruto woke up from a restless sleep filled with nightmares. Unhappy, he sighed, got dressed and had breakfast, although the food insisted on getting stuck in his throat. His humble baggage consisted of a backpack with a few changes of clothes, some food, a blanket, several scrolls, and some weapons. After finishing breakfast, Naruto grabbed the backpack that was lying on the bed and began to head towards the door. It was then that he noticed the picture of his team. The young blonde caught in the frame and stared at the photograph. The elderly photographer had just finished preparing the camera and stared at the young genins impatiently. Kakashi-sensei had to calm the two boys if he wanted the picture taken today. Okay then. Let's take a picture, so settle down, Kakashi said to his new, and very bad-tempered, students. Why do I have to take a picture next to him? Naruto muttered, pointing angrily at Sasuke. That's my line, Yuzuritanki. Sasuke replied grumpily. Come on, this is a regulation, Kakashi said, trying to calm them down enough. But I'm happy to be able to take a picture with Sasuke-kun. Sakura turned to Sasuke, smiling with all her might. Naruto smiled immediately. Me too. I'm very happy to take a picture with Sakura-chan, the blonde said. Sakura's smile vanished. Sensei, she said. Leave Naruto out. No. Naruto cried, horrified by the idea. Sasuke chuckled, so Naruto turned to him again. Don't laugh, the aggravated blonde shouted. What? Sasuke answered back, frowning. Kakashi sighed. He prayed to all gods that the team would improve, or else he would need an earlier retirement. They were supposed to be ninjas, not a bunch of spoiled brats. As the photographer prepared to take the photo, Kakashi grabbed the heads of two boys and forced them to keep quiet. Stop it, you two, the sensei said, turning their head towards the camera. You're troubling the photographer, can't you see? Hey! This going to stand for remembrance, so smile. Sakura stood in their midst, smiling radiantly for the camera, while the two boys glared at each other. Smile, please. And the photographer took the picture. Naruto smiled at the memory and looked at the clock. It was 5:30 in the morning. He opened the drawer of the dresser and put the photo inside, downwards. On reaching the gate of the village, Naruto was prepared for the possibility of finding someone he knew who had found out about his mission. Tsunade had given him her word that she would let him go alone and not let know anyone about his whereabouts or on his mission until its conclusion. No one would interfere. When passing through the gate, he made sure that was not being followed and threw himself in the trees. He didn't want to tell his friends for various reasons that he knew to be a little selfish on his part. If they knew, they would want to go with him and help him. It wasn't that he didn't appreciate their aid or thought he was superior to them, quite the contrary. Naruto didn't want to risk seeing any of them killed by Sasuke. He could never live with the guilt. If someone had to die, that would be him. Forgive me, Sakura-chan, he thought bitterly. Forgive me for being one to end our dream to have our team back. Feeling his eyes burning, Naruto cursed himself and wiped his tears with the back of his hand. Stop being such a baby. Tears do not solve anything. Thanks to his high stamina, Naruto didn't need 2 weeks to reach the Land of Mountains, a very populated small country, north of the Land of Fire. He forced himself to eat and sleep because he knew he needed to, but whenever he saw a devastated village or a grief-stricken survivor in one of the many villages that constituted the country, he would travel without breaks before collapsing with exhaustion. According to Tsunade's reports, Sasuke attacked the villages from dusk until dawn, and always on nights of full moon. He was trying to recreate the massacre of the clan with him in control of the situation. Naruto had stopped wanting to understand how Sasuke's mind worked, but he knew that his heart demanded that others suffer as he suffered. In addition, Sasuke knew that sooner or later Naruto would get involved. He thinks of me as stupid and predictable. During a brief stop at an inn, Naruto heard rumors of a young ninja who was heading west, towards the highest mountains in the country. People were worried. What if it was the criminal who was attacking the villages? Naruto stared at a calendar hanging in a souvenir shop and felt his throat tighten up. It was July 22nd and a night of full moon. Sasuke Uchiha's birthday eve. Forgetting to eat breakfast, Naruto rushed to jump into the trees. It was already night when he saw the smoke rising up in the dark sky. Naruto's feet felt sore, but he struggled to walk even faster, The soldier pills had finished hours ago, and he cursed himself for not bringing more. It was too late to save the village. None of the small houses had survived the Katon. Naruto felt his stomach turn when he detected the smell of burning flesh. Upon entering the village, he had to protect his face with his arms. The heat was too strong to breathe, but he had to make sure the villagers had survived. "Is anyone here?" he shouted as loud as he could. Feeling something under his feet, Naruto almost jumped. The corpse of a young girl was right in front of him. She had been dissected. Naruto had stepped on what was left of her intestines. "Sasuke. No. No. No." Before Naruto could react, he heard a desperate cry amid the deafening noise of burning wood. Following the screams, and ignoring the corpses, Naruto arrived to what was left of a mansion which should have belonged to the village leader. A woman was kneeling on the floor clutching a boy who appeared to have no more than 5 years old. They were both covered in soot and blood, which Naruto guessed belonged to bodies that were right in front of them, a man and an older boy. It was then that he saw him. Uchiha Sasuke was in front of the burning mansion, his chikudo pointed towards the woman. He was much slimmer than Naruto remembered. His hair was dirty and scruffy, his clothes filthy with grime and blood. But the worst was his face. His Sharingan was activated and he wore a huge smile of satisfaction on his face, like a demon out of hell. "Please, have mercy," sobbed the woman at his feet, grabbing the terrified child. "Please. Mercy? Why should I spare you? I killed all the others, why should I let you live?" Sasuke asked, looking at the woman as if she was trash. "My son, please spare my son. You can kill me, but not Kosuke. I'll do anything. Please. I have already lost my husband and my oldest son." Sasuke's gaze didn't reveal anything other than disdain for that woman and her son who sobbed clutching her skirt. His smile faded and his habitual expression of indifference returned. "You do not deserve my attention," he said coldly. "Get out of my sight before I regret it." Trembling, the woman picked her son up and ran down the street. When she was about to reach the corner, Sasuke activated his Chidori and threw himself against her back. Naruto grabbed his wrist at the last instant and the woman, surprised, almost fell to the ground. "Run!" Naruto shouted. "Run away while you can." Without needing any encouragement, she got up and disappeared amid the smoke. Naruto let go of Sasuke's wrist and moved away from the kunai that almost hit him. Sasuke had used his other hand to attack. With a safe distance, Naruto finally looked his best friend in the eye. "So you finally came. I wondered how long it was going to take for you to show up," Sasuke said with a sneer stamped on his lips. Naruto remained silent. There was nothing more to say. Sasuke didn't like the reaction. "Aren't you going to say anything, Naruto? We finally met after months and you have nothing to tell me? No screams? Not gonna ask me why I killed all these people? Not going to convince me to go back to your precious village so we can be a big happy fucking team?" Naruto closed his eyes and took a deep breath before answering. "There's nothing more I can say to you, Sasuke. I know that now." "Are you playing wise, Naruto? Who do you think you're fooling? You think you're so special for having beaten me, don't you? You're not worth shit. If it wasn't for the Kyuubi, you would only be a second-class ninja." Naruto remained silent. Kakashi-sensei had told him that Sasuke had a superiority and an inferiority complex, so he believed himself as superior to all others but crumbled completely when he was defeated. He despised those who were weaker than him and hated those who were stronger, obsessively thinking in new ways to kill them and be able to convince himself that he was the strongest once more. Naruto's silence made the Uchiha's little patience ran out completely. Sasuke jumped into the fight with taijutsu followed by several chidori. Naruto wasted no time and entered into Sage mode, using the energy that one of its clones stored outside the village. The battle was intense and both eventually moved slightly away from the village. Sasuke had already invoked the Susanoo, but Naruto would not use the power of the Kyuubi. He had had luck and wasn't hit by any Amaterasu, but he knew that luck was running out. His suspicions were confirmed when he made the mistake of staring at Sasuke in the eyes. His eternal Manjiki Sharingan was ready for his next attack. Tsukuyami. Then it happened. Naruto knew almost instantly that something had gone wrong with the genjutsu. Instead of finding an environment of torture, Sasuke and he were surrounded by thousands of black feathers. But the strange thing was that the feathers were coming out from his own body. Sasuke looked at him, his eyes wide open. "What are you doing, Naruto?" I don't know." The feathers changed direction and enveloped Sasuke completely, swirling around him like a tornado. Sasuke tried to use Susanoo to escape, but as soon as it touched the feathers, the creature let out an animalistic cry and disappeared entirely. "No! Fuck! No! What are you doing, Naruto? Son of a bitch! What the fuck is this technique? I cannot activate the Susanoo." Naruto was as amazed as Sasuke. "I'm not doing anything." "Liar!" Before Naruto could counter-argue, the black feathers stopped leaving his body. Those which hadn't whirled around Sasuke began to merge together, resulting in a black form. Naruto and Sasuke's eyes were wide with astonishment. The black feathers had formed a human figure they thought would never see again, Itachi Uchiha. "Nisan?" Sasuke shouted in disbelief. Naruto couldn't help thinking that it was a genjutsu. Itachi was dead. It wasn't possible. The last time they had seen each other was when Kabuto resurrected him with Edo Tensei. Could it be Sasuke's genjutsu? If it was, why did he seem so surprised about it? In what way could Itachi be torture to Naruto? "It's been a while, Naruto-kun," Itachi said softly. "Itachi? You died. Is this a genjutsu?" Naruto asked. "It's not a genjutsu," he explained calmly, without looking at his younger brother. "Although you could say it was thanks to Sasuke's genjutsu that I am here." "What do you mean?" "Itachi, stop talking to him," Sasuke muttered. Itachi ignored him. "You remember our last meeting?" Naruto noticed at last. It was all a result of the raven that he had swallowed that day. This was the power that Itachi had given him. For this power to manifest, Sasuke had to use Tsukuyomi against you, using my eyes. These were the necessary conditions. "You mean like that crow with your friend's eye?" Naruto asked. Itachi nodded. "Yes. You're determined to save Sasuke, so I placed a second power within you just in case." "Nisan!" Sasuke shouted behind them. "Nisan! Let's kill him together, Nisan! When he dies, we can destroy Konoha. They will never laugh again. We will kill them together and cleanse the name of the Uchiha. Two-san will be so proud of me. He will finally look at me." Itachi stared at his brother filled with sadness. "I never wanted things to end this way, Naruto-kun," he explained. "All I wanted was for Sasuke to return to the village as a hero. He was the only one of our clan that hadn't been corrupted by greed, so I placed all my hopes on him." Naruto didn't know what to say. Itachi was being honest, he knew it. "Our father was so obsessed with power that forced me to betray the village. While he ensured that I remained strong and faithful to the clan, Sasuke was ignored almost completely. It didn't matter that Sasuke was the best of his class at the academy, or if he needed a family member to accompany him, our father didn't see him. He was too obsessed with making the clan the new leaders of Konoha." "Stop talking to him. They always put us aside," yelled Sasuke, ignoring what his brother had said except for what he wanted to hear. "They've always despised the Uchiha. We are stronger, smarter and more gifted than anyone in that stupid village. But they will pay, right, Nisan? They will wish they had never messed with the Uchiha." The black feathers began to spin faster. A beam of white light came out of the tornado and grabbed Sasuke's arm. After that it grabbed his leg. Within seconds, Sasuke was completely immobilized by ropes of light. "Naruto-kun, I'm sorry for all the pain I caused you. I hope someday you will be able to forgive me. From tonight on, you won't have to fight against Sasuke anymore." Sasuke tried in vain to free himself from the ropes. "Nisan! What's happening?" he shouted, starting to feel frightened by that bizarre situation. His mind, twisted by madness, noted vaguely that Itachi not only was ignoring him but also could have something to do with black feathers. A white light surrounded Naruto, and he became aware of small blue orbs getting out of his body towards Sasuke. He began to feel dizzy and very, very tired. Before losing consciousness, Naruto still managed to look at Itachi, who was smiling at him with his usual gentleness. "Please, take care of my little brother." Naruto fainted. Sasuke continued to attempt to free himself from the ropes, but these seemed to cling to him with even more force. Several blue orbs that his Sharingan identified as chakra surrounded the tornado's feather. Sasuke felt an electric shock run from head to toe, and suddenly, his head felt much lighter. Itachi approached his brother and looked deep into his eyes. At first, Sasuke's lips were compressed with fury, staring with a withering gaze, but this was gradually fading, giving way to a confused and exhausted expression. Sasuke felt very angry, sad, betrayed, but he just couldn't remember why. His brother kept looking at him impassively. Why didn't he help him? "Nisan." "What?" "Shhhh. Calm down, Sasuke," he replied. "It'll be alright." Sasuke knew he shouldn't be detained, but he couldn't remember how he had got there. Had there been a fight? He didn't remember having struggled. His brother was there with him, so he was safe, right? There was someone else there, or had he imagined it? Sasuke felt so confused. Itachi had died, no. He was alive. He had been a spy for Konoha and with Madara, killed all the clan members. Itachi had killed the clan. Sasuke had to kill and avenge them all. That's why he had joined the Akatsuki? No, had joined Orochimaru and left Konoha to get stronger. Naruto had come after him to stop him. Itachi was after Naruto in Konoha and he went out to them. Gaara had escaped from the Chunin exam and he had to defeat him, but Naruto and Sakura were here too. Kakashi taught him the Chidori, but he could only use it 3 times a day. The curse seal gave him power, but it was very difficult to control. The Snake Man bit him in the neck. The whole team was going to die. The Snake Man was too powerful. He was going to participate in the Chunin exams, but had no major concerns. The only opponents was worried about were Gaara and Rock Lee. He had survived the needles of the masked boy. Naruto would eventually die if he did not act faster. The man against whom Kakashi fought was very strong. Zabuza. Naruto almost died on the way to their first mission outside the village. What an idiot. Why did he have to belong to a team of idiots? Goddamn team. An idiot and an annoying girl. He didn't need a team. He worked better alone. He really had to graduate that year. He couldn't waste time. When he would graduate, could he really do it? Itachi's eyes peered Sasuke as his life turned backwards. As years disappeared from the body of his brother, and his mind became barer. Sasuke forgot Madara and Akatsuki, the truth about the Uchiha. He forgot the fight against Itachi and all the techniques he had learned from Orochimaru. Finally, he forgot that he had betrayed Konoha. Sasuke's eyes, which hitherto remained with the eternal Manjiki Sharingan activated, changed into a matured 3-Tomo Sharingan, then 2, 1, until his eyes turned black as coal. Sasuke had forgotten how to activate the Sharingan. His arms and legs were becoming increasingly smaller, his bones contracted, the muscles that he had gained after weeks of training faded, becoming smaller and weaker until they were swallowed by his white shirt and pants, which threatened to drop to the ground along with the rope that he used as a belt. His face was becoming less defined, giving rise to the appearance of a child. The vocal cords shrunk, making his deep, mature voice become higher. The hairiness he acquired during puberty regressed and disappeared, leaving only light fuzz. His permanent teeth came back into the gums, first the molars, then canines, and finally the incisors. Baby teeth returned, but eventually also returned to their place above the adult dentition. Sasuke's pants fell on the floor, and his shirt barely clung to his increasingly smaller body. His hair grew back into his skull, leaving only a bit of thin raven hair on the top of his head. His legs' muscles became weaker, and he collapsed backwards into a sitting position. Baby fat continued to appear on his thighs, upper arms, and neck. Sasuke finally became unable to sit and fell on his back with his now giant shirt covering him. His arms and legs lost their coordination as his muscles lost strength and control, his movements becoming large and jerky. Sasuke forgot all ninja techniques that he ever learned. He forgot what ninja meant. He didn't know his address, how to do mathematical calculations, how to read or write, how to draw, how to distinguish the passage of time, how to distinguish people and objects, how to dress. Forgot the name of his brother and parents, forgot the name of things. They were objects with colors, colors without names. Forgot his own name, he forgot all words. His body forgot how to feed himself. He forgot how to breathe as his lungs became deflated and filled with amniotic fluid. Finally, darkness. He didn't know anything. Naruto woke up with a big headache. Still stunned, he asked himself what kind of bed he had fallen asleep. He had twisted his neck and his back ached. Rising, a sharp pain in the back of his head made him groan and take his hand to his wound. "Did I hit my head?" he asked before realizing that he had slept on weeds outside. What the hell? The sun was rising behind the mountains. Its rays illuminated the small clearing where Naruto was, making him puckered brow to get used to the light. He could hear the waters of the stream nearby and smelled the dew-wet grass. He also felt the unmistakable smell of burnt wood. Village houses burn. Sasuke. Finally recalling what had happened the night before, Naruto stood up with a jump and looked around. The clearing was deserted and there were no signs of Itachi or Sasuke. The feathers which came out of his body had also disappeared. Was I dreaming? He thought. No, it wasn't a dream. But then, where is Sasuke? Had Itachi killed his brother? If so, where was the body? What happened last night? He then noticed a small circle of scorched grass a few feet from where he was. Sasuke's sword, still wet with dew and stained with blood, shone beside it. Naruto moved towards the circle. The memory of the black feathered tornado came back to him like a flash. Whatever had happened to Sasuke, it had been there. As he got closer, Naruto felt his heart beating faster. He felt out of breath. Then he saw the clothes. They were Sasuke's clothes, he had no doubt. The white shirt was stained with blood, soil and filth, his purple pants right above it. One of the sandals was bare by the pants, while the other was concealed under them. The owner of the garment in question couldn't be seen anywhere. Naruto kept walking, his head full of unanswered questions. Where was Sasuke? What had Itachi done? Would he have made Sasuke disappear? He was not aware of any technique that was capable of erasing a person without leaving any trace. But Itachi was known to be a genius. He might have created a technique. The Sharingan was capable of everything. Sasuke's clothes were right in front of him. For a moment, Naruto laughed at the thought of a furious Sasuke walking around naked, demanding his clothes back. The idea that Sasuke had died hit him with the strength of a kunai in his chest. The laughter turned to sobs and Naruto fell to his knees in front of the clothes that had belonged to his best friend. Tears were soon running down his cheeks, falling to the already wet ground. The sobs became screams of hurt. The blonde ninja's eyes were so swollen that he didn't even notice the tiny movement under Sasuke's shirt. Something small was trying to get rid of dirty cloth. Naruto suppressed a sob when he heard a muffled whimper right before him. Blinking in confusion, Naruto looked around looking the one making the noise. A few seconds later he heard a cry. Following the sounds, realized that the cry came from Sasuke's shirt. He finally noticed the movements underneath the tissue. With his hand trembling, Naruto grabbed the shirt and moved it slightly. His blue eyes opened with surprise and disbelief. Lying in the middle of the shirt, screaming with all his strength, was a newborn baby boy. His purple skin was covered with some kind of transparent slime and blood. His eyes were closed tightly and filled with tears, his tiny arms and legs waving in the air helplessly. A child had been born into the world. Chapter 4: Freak Out. Fear. He was so scared. He had been comfortable in the darkness, which was the only thing he remembered. He vaguely recalled being in a warm, wet and dark place for a long time and then, pain. Lots of pain. The darkness was safe, but he remembered that it felt bad. He didn't want to go back there, so he tried to get out, but it hurt so much. And then it was over. But this new world was too scary. He felt something rough and uncomfortable all around him. Moving, he noticed something on him and panicked. He didn't want to be there. He was afraid. An unknown thing was over him and he couldn't get it out. The emotions were too strong, and he did the only thing instinct told him: cry. For the first time, he opened his mouth and screamed. His lungs were filled with air, and he knew that he was breathing. He felt something warm in his eyes that slipped down his face. During what seemed like an eternity, nothing happened, and he cried even louder. The fear he felt for the unknown increased to the point of being unbearable. All we wanted was for the fear to disappear. He felt so bad. Finally, the unpleasant thing was gone and a brilliant white light illuminated his face. He thought he heard something, but the sounds were too faint. Finally, he felt a new sensation that upset him: cold. His wet and clammy skin shuddered with the airstream. He couldn't open his eyes, the light was too strong. So he screamed for comfort, for safety. He felt something hot touching him and picking him up in the air before leaning into something equally warm. After several movements, something soft was wrapped around his cold little body. He felt a scent that didn't belong to him but to the much bigger person who was holding him. His tiny nostrils inhaled the odor, wanting to know it because instinct told him that this was the closest to safety he would be. Finally, he stopped crying. The person holding him made several sounds. His voice was pleasant, and he liked it. When trying to open his eyes, he could barely see except for the silhouette of the person who held him. Feeling safe with this person, he closed his eyes again and fell into a blissful sleep. Naruto could not believe his eyes. In the middle of Sasuke's clothes was a newborn baby. He blinked several times, closed his eyes, and pinched his face. No, it wasn't a dream. The baby was still before him, crying his eyes out. Naruto wondered if it was a genjutsu, but that didn't make any sense. Realizing that the baby was real, Naruto wondered who it would be. Where did he come from? Why was he there? The child continued to cry. It was a tiny creature. His purple skin was already becoming pinker, but he still looked weird. He looked like a hairless dog except for the thin raven hair. Raven hair? Naruto was startled and looked at the baby more closely. The idea seemed ridiculous, but he couldn't get it out of his head. First, Itachi appears out of nowhere, then uses an unknown technique, and now he finds a baby in the exact place where Sasuke had been. No way! It's impossible! The baby continued to cry, his helpless little body shaking with cold and fright. His lips were trembling, his fists pressed against his face as if to protect himself, his feet dangling in the air. His chest and belly rose and fell as if he was having trouble breathing. Naruto stretched his arms towards him and touched his sticky belly as if to make sure he was real. Sasuke? Naruto asked. The infant showed no signs of having heard him. His hands and feet were blue with cold. Naruto was afraid to pick him up. He didn't know how to do it. What if he hurts him? But a wail of anguish from the little boy forced him, almost instinctively, to put a hand under the child's head and another under his butt, raising the baby in the air and cuddle him close to his chest. He was so light and so small. Sasuke, it's you, isn't it? The blonde asked the baby, who seemed to calm down a little when he was picked up, but didn't answer Naruto. What the hell happened to you? Why do you look like this? The baby calmed down, but was still weeping and shaking with cold. Naruto didn't understand why Sasuke, and he was sure it was Sasuke, was still crying. Was he injured? Naruto examined his best friend's body in search of wounds. The blood that covered the baby did not look like his. While looking at the place where Sasuke's belly button should be, Naruto shouted, "Sasuke had his gut out." Naruto panicked when he noticed a long strip of meat that coming from Sasuke's navel. He even tried to put him back but couldn't. It was as if the thing had been born from his belly. What the? I didn't make this wound, Sasuke. How the hell did you hurt yourself like this? What do I do? What do I do? Sasuke continued not answering. Sobbing and wailing of cold, the baby snuggled closer to Naruto, one of his hands clinging to his coat for warmth. Desperate to make Sasuke feel better, Naruto took off his jacket with his free hand and wrapped it around the baby boy. Don't worry, Sasuke, the blonde ninja said, cradling the child in his arms. Everything is fine, you're going to be okay. Gradually, the baby stopped crying. His onyx eyes, filled with tears, opened softly and stared at Naruto. You'll be alright, Sasuke, Naruto whispered. Sasuke kept staring at Naruto with a look of awe on his face, but he seemed calmer. Naruto continued rocking Sasuke back and forth, not really understanding why it comforted the boy. You don't need to be afraid. I'm here. The baby closed his eyes again. Shortly after, his breathing became regular, falling asleep. Naruto, convinced that Sasuke was in pain, thought that he had fainted. Panicking, he looked from one side to the other as if in search of someone to help him. There wasn't a single village within a radius of 50 kilometers. What am I going to do? Desperate, Naruto did the only thing he remembered. Landing Sasuke carefully, Naruto bit his thumb until it bled and made the hand seals before playing it on the floor. Kuchiyos no Jutsu. In the midst of a cloud, came a dark orange-colored toad. Seeing Naruto, the toad smiled boldly. Yo? You haven't called me for a while. Gamakichi. No time to talk, interrupted Naruto, returning to pick up Sasuke. I need you to do me a reverse summoning. Gamakichi blinked, uncomprehending. Huh? But why so suddenly? Hurry! Okay, calm down, damn it. Naruto looked back at Sasuke, who seemed to be sleeping peacefully. Then he noticed the sword and the clothes. Wait! Ordered the blonde to the toad that was about to leave. What now? Use your katana against these clothes. What? What do you think I am? You burn your garbage. This is serious, Gamakichi. Right. Inhaling deeply, Gamakichi burned the clothes Sasuke had worn out. When the flames were gone, all that remained were ashes. Perfect, Naruto thought. No one will find our trail. Anything else? No. You can do the summoning. With a blast of smoke, Gamakichi disappeared. Naruto picked up the sword and looked at the sleeping infant. Sorry, Sasuke. I promise I'll buy you some new clothes. Sasuke continued to sleep. Naruto tapped his foot impatiently, cursing Gamakichi for the delay. Sasuke's life was in danger, for crying out loud. Finally, Naruto was surrounded by smoke and disappeared. In the clearing, all that was left were ashes from Uchiha Sasuke's clothes. Chapter 5, Countdown. Mount Myaboku hadn't changed at all since Naruto's last visit. A cool green paradise, especially for the frogs that lived there. Gamakichi was in front of Naruto, watching him with curiosity and some annoyance. I brought you here. Now would mind explaining me what the hell is going on? The frog asked, before noticing the bundle that Naruto held in his arms. What is that? A baby? I'll tell you later. I have to go to the Sennin-ji-chan. Gamakichi gave him a sly glance. Naruto! What have you done? Don't tell you got into trouble? Realizing that Gamakichi was insinuating, Naruto blushed like a tomato before yelling Gamakichi to shut up and to get out of his way. Fukasaku and Shima were enjoying their breakfast when they heard the angry voices of Naruto and Gamakichi. Look who came to visit us, Fukasaku said happily. It's good to see you, Naruto-chan. Naruto approached the toads which, in turn, immediately noticed the boy's exhausted look. They also frowned upon seeing the baby. Ji-chan Sennin, I need your help. He's dying! Naruto shouted in panic. Wait, Naruto-chan. Who is dying? And who is this child? Gamakichi laughed. Naruto knocked someone up. Shut up, growled Naruto. This is serious. He will die if we do nothing. Who will die? Shima said, now very curious. Sasuke. Naruto pointed to the baby. Him. The frogs gasped deeply and stared at the sleeping infant, not wanting to believe their ears. Are you saying that this baby is Uchiha Sasuke? Fukasaku said. This is exactly what I'm saying. I'll explain later. Sasuke is seriously hurt. He has his guts out. The frogs looked at Naruto's orange jacket. If Sasuke had been gutted, the jacket would be soaked with blood, which wasn't. Actually, Sasuke looked perfectly well. Come into the house, Shima ordered. Let me see it. Naruto obeyed and went inside the small house where he used to live during his senjutsu training. Shima jumped over a small couch and ordered Naruto to land Sasuke on it, then carefully removed the coat, revealing the child's abdomen. You see? He has a great piece of intestine coming out. Can you save him? Should I take him to a hospital? Shima picked up the gut gently. Feeling cold, Sasuke began to whimper. Naruto-chan, she said, this is not his gut. Huh? Honestly, do you know anything about babies? This is a piece of the umbilical cord. Naruto narrowed his eyes, not understanding what Shima had said. So, it's not his gut? Of course not. So, he's not in danger? No. He is perfectly fine. And this thing? The umbilical cord. Is this normal? Shima rolled her eyes. You mammals are born with the cord. It is what connects a baby to his mother when he is in her belly. What do you think your belly button is? Naruto shrugged. The belly button is the scar from the umbilical cord, she explained. Fukasaku stared at his wife in amazement. Ka-chan, you know a lot about mammals' babies. Shima swelled with pride. Of course. Female mammals are living proof of a woman's strength. Naruto approached Sasuke and looked at the cord. If Sasuke was not in pain, why was he crying so much a little while ago? So what happens to the cord? Naruto asked. He's not keeping it, is he? Well, no, Shima replied, leaving the room. A few seconds later he returned with scissors in hand, approached Sasuke and grabbed the cord. Here, she said to Naruto, handing him the scissors. Naruto grabbed the scissors and, realizing what was about to happen, he opened his eyes wide and he drew back. What? I'm not cutting it. Yes, you will. Stop being a coward and cut his umbilical cord. But that's disgusting. Disgusting? This is one of the most beautiful things you humans can experience. I don't want cut it. Shouldn't we give him a painkiller or something? It's gonna hurt him. No, it won't. The baby doesn't feel the cord. Now stop being such a wimp and cut the damn cord. Shima's voice tone didn't allow discussions. With his hand trembling, Naruto approached the umbilical cord, grabbed it with his left hand, slightly shaking, and cut it with the scissors in his right hand. As predicted by Shima, Sasuke didn't even budge. Naruto grabbed the cord and threw it in the trash bag before running to the bathroom and washing his hands. An hour later, Naruto had finished telling all that had happened since his departure from Konoha until he reached Mount Maiboku. They were sitting on the kitchen floor drinking an oddly tasty herbal tea, while Sasuke was lying asleep in the next room. Fukasaku crossed his arms over his chest and stared at his apprentice. This Itachi guy must have been an extraordinary ninja. I never heard of any technique that could turn an adult into a baby. It must have been some kind of rejuvenation jutsu, the old toad said. I don't care about that jutsu, Naruto replied. I have to find a way to revert it. Sasuke can't stay like this. Idiot. If we find out what was the jutsu used, we'll know if we can reverse it. And how do we find out? I didn't hear Itachi say the name of the technique. Shima turned to Naruto. What was the last thing he said? Naruto closed his eyes, trying to remember. He recalled the black feathered tornado, ropes of light to involving Sasuke, Itachi telling him that he would not have to fight against Sasuke anymore. He said, "Please, take care of my little brother." The couple looked at each other. If Itachi wanted Naruto to take care of his brother, he wouldn't use a reversible jutsu. In the next room, Sasuke woke up and began to sob. Shortly after, he was screaming with all his strength. Naruto left the kitchen and came running to the baby. "What's wrong?" the young ninja asked, holding Sasuke in his arms. "What happened, Sasuke?" As before, Sasuke showed no signs of having heard him and continued to cry. Naruto was beginning to feel uneasy. If Sasuke wasn't in pain, then why was he crying? Naruto believed that his former comrade must have been furious with the whole situation. The great Uchiha Sasuke's body reduced to a helpless baby, in the lap of the person he claimed to hate above all others. In this case, it was expected that the international criminal glared at him, or even tried to attack him. "Why are you crying?" Naruto asked again. His voice had risen due to the concern he felt. As a result, the baby cried louder. Are you kidding me? Because I'm not laughing. In response to the cry of angry Naruto, the child cringed. He cried so much that began hiccuping. Naruto blinked, confused. Is he afraid of me? Sasuke, stop it, he said with a more gentle tone, rocking the baby. Come on, this isn't funny. You're acting like a... Naruto gasped at the thought that came to him. Sasuke didn't even seem to realize that he was talking to him, continuing to sob. A real baby. Naruto sat on the couch, snuggled his orange jacket better around the child and pulled Sasuke's head against his face. He expected Sasuke to reject him by pushing him with his hands, or even trying to bite him, but he didn't. In fact, the baby calmed down, enjoying the warmth that radiated from Naruto. When he finally stopped crying, Naruto pulled the child away from his face, wiped the trail of tears from his face, and placed him on his lap, facing him. Sasuke opened his eyes and looked at Naruto's face, not with contempt or anger, but with an expression of interest and innocence. You know who I am, Sasuke? Remember me? The baby did not react. Sasuke, you know what I'm saying, right? If you understand what I'm saying, then say something. Oh. You don't have teeth, huh? Then shake your head, wave your hands, blink 3 times, do something. Give me a sign. Any sign. The frogs, who were watching the whole scene from the room door, entered and approached them. Sasuke looked from one side to another, but his vision was very limited, so he focused once again on Naruto, pleased with his funny face. A drop of sweat trickled down Naruto's forehead. Sasuke, do you know who you are? Sasuke shook his arms and gurgled. A small string of drool dripped down his chin. Raising his right hand, he placed it on his mouth and started sucking on it. Naruto-chan, Fukasaku whispered. I don't think he remembers. But Naruto already knew. Sasuke not only had lost his memory but also behaved like an actual baby. The sense of loss shook the blonde ninja. In a way, the Sasuke he knew was gone. Naruto-chan, the old frogs muttered, noting the unfortunate implication in the eyes of their student. What do I do? Naruto asked to nobody in particular. What will happen to Sasuke now? I felt prepared to kill him, I swear I was. But I wasn't prepared for this. What do we do? The baby seemed to sense something was wrong because his dark eyes watered and he began to whimper. Shima sighed before taking action. Well, first things first. Let's give this kid a bath. I would also burst into tears if I were as dirty as he is. Naruto looked at her in confusion. What? I'm not that dirty, the offended blonde replied. Shima shook her head. Not you. Well, you should also take a shower, but we'll deal with you later. I was talking about the little one, she pointed to Sasuke. I'm sure he'll feel much better after a good bath. Naruto looked at Sasuke and nodded. He always liked cleanness. He even used to bother Naruto about not having bathed when they went on missions. He called him abhorrent, whatever that meant. However, when Naruto extended the baby to Shima, she glared at him with an angry expression. What do you think you're doing? Well, wasn't he going to take a bath? And you're expecting me to bathe him? I'm too short, you'll have to do it. Naruto stared at her with wide eyes. Me? Why me? You're the only human here, and it takes some skill to handle an infant. If a frog were to give him a bath, he could end up drowning. Forget it. I won't bathe Sasuke. It's too weird. So you're going to abandon him? When he needs you, you turn your back on him? Her words struck him like knives. No. That's not what I meant. Naruto-chan, I understand you're saddened by what happened to your friend. But imagine if he had become quadriplegic. Or if he had hit his head and remained in a coma or retarded for the rest of his life? What would you do? Let him die because he was not the person that you knew? Of course I wouldn't let him die, but... You accepted this mission because you wanted to stop him, right? You did it, may not be in the way you thought you would, but you managed to stop him. He's not a threat anymore. He can't hurt anyone else. And he needs you. Who else can he count on? Sasuke. Sasuke is my responsibility. I want to deal with him alone. Naruto turned to look at the unhappy baby in his arms who was sucking on his hand in an attempt to soothe himself. This wasn't the Sasuke he had met at the academy, or during his days as a member of Team 7. Nor was the traitorous criminal who he had fought against, that destroyed so many lives and shattered his team's hearts for power. No, this was a different Sasuke, but it was still Sasuke. There's nobody else, continued Shima. He is all alone. With a sinking heart, Naruto approached Sasuke to his chest and cradled him. Shima was right. Sasuke had no future after all he had done. There was no place he could go, nobody would ever accept him. Except for me. As a sign of agreement, Naruto went to the bathroom. 10 minutes later. Gah! I can't do this, Naruto yelled, refusing to look at his best friend. His naked best friend, lying on top of a bath towel. Oh, please! Shima muttered in exasperation. It's not like you're washing a toilet. You'll bathe a baby. It's Sasuke. I can't bathe Sasuke. The bathroom was warm, but the baby was already feeling cold and shivering. You're the only one who can do it. The poor thing is already freezing, so hurry up before he catches a cold. Swallowing, Naruto picked the boy up and placed him inside a bowl full with hot water, keeping his head in the surface with one hand. Sasuke didn't react well to water and began crying again. What the? You always liked baths, Sasuke. And now you're being all weird about it. Take this smaller towel and rub his skin to see if you strip this disgusting slime of. Naruto obeyed and started rubbing the child's skin with a white towel and a little soap. He washed his back, belly, chest, legs, arms, head and face, the latter resulting in a tantrum by the screaming boy. He was about to take Sasuke from the bowl when Shima stopped him and pointed to the baby's pelvic area. Naruto blushed from head to toe. Please, don't make me touch it. Anything but that. I don't want to wash his stuff. You're not waiting for him to wash himself, are you? Red and sweating, Naruto did what he had to do, while looking to the side. You better thank me for this, team, he thought. After drying Sasuke, Naruto wrapped him in a blue blanket that Fukasaku had lent him and laid him on a futon surrounded by pillows. Shortly after, the baby went back to sleep. He looked much better now that he was clean. She was right, he pondered. The bath helped. Naruto lay on the ground next to Sasuke, who slept peacefully with his tiny fists closed. Naruto didn't want to admit it, but the kid looked kind of cute. He reached out to Sasuke and touched his hand. To his surprise, the infant grabbed his finger tightly with his whole hand. Naruto's shocked expression turned into a warm smile. He snuggled closer to Sasuke and caressed his tiny head with his free hand. Naruto just wanted to rest his eyes for a little while. He hadn't eaten or slept well for days. He would rest his eyes for 5 minutes and then he was going to take a shower and eat something. 3 minutes later, Uzumaki Naruto had fallen asleep. Fukasaku and Shima looked at their apprentice and smiled, deciding to let him rest. They both looked so peaceful and at ease, like a parent with his child. After what seemed to him like a few minutes, Naruto woke up with Sasuke's cry. Rubbing his swollen eyes, Naruto approached the futon and gasped. The sheets that surrounded the baby's bottom were dirty with a sort of greenish-brown liquid. What the hell is this thing? Naruto screamed in panic. Fukasaku and Shima burst into the room. What? Fukasaku said. Sasuke has a green thing in the sheets. The frogs both looked to the futon. Fukasaku grimaced, obviously disgusted. Shima nodded, as if he knew exactly what was going on. It seems that Sasuke-chan has to go to the bathroom, she said, looking slyly to Naruto. The blonde shuddered in terror. Chapter 6: Naruto's Resolution. One of the Mayaboka mountains burst into pieces when the gigantic and heavy body of Gamabunta was tossed against it. The frog stood up and cursed loudly, staring at Naruto, who was watching with a smile of satisfaction on his face. I won again, Gamma Oyaban! The young ninja exclaimed. Gamabunta jumped from the remainder of the mountain to a lake, disguising very badly irritation he felt. Bah! "I'm not in my best days," he justified, while washing himself in the lake. "I drank too much sake last night." Naruto jumped out of the rock where he was to the lakeside. His sage mode disappeared. "Excuses, excuses? Why don't you admit that I'm stronger than you, Oyabun? HMPF. You need to grow a lot to be stronger than me, brat." "Huh! But beat you. Twice. 2 out of 3 is not a great victory." Naruto crossed his arms over his chest and pouted. "Very well. So let's see out of 5. Gamabunta turned his back. He would never admit to the kid that he was exhausted, and very probably, he had broken 2 ribs. Instead, he pretended to be bored and started walking away. "I have no time to waste on unnecessary challenges," he said before diving into the lake and disappearing into the waters. "Hey! I'm not done yet. At least admit defeat, Oyabun." Annoyed at having been ignored, Naruto decided to return to Fukasaku's home. Maybe he would finally manage to convince Gamaken to fight him. After arriving in Mount Mayaboku, he trained with virtually all frogs. He learned some new jutsu and improved the techniques that he already possessed. His new challenge was to dominate the Hiraishin no Jutsu, a technique that his father Minato created. However, things were not going very well. Naruto was not exactly an expert on seals. "Tadaima," he said before entering his teacher's house and taking off his black sandals. In the kitchen, Shima had already started preparing lunch. Naruto avoided thinking about the bucket of worms that she had asked him the previous evening, while Fukasaku drank tea at the table. Both frogs greeted him with a smile. "O Kiri Nasai, Naruto-chan," they replied in unison. Naruto decided to go to the room he shared with Fukasaku and changed his clothes, throwing his pants and dirty t-shirt in the laundry basket. When he returned to the kitchen, Fukasaku pointed him to sit down with his hand. "How was your morning, Naruto-chan?" Fukasaku said. "It went well, I guess. I defeated Oyabun, but he acted like it was only by luck." Fukasaku laughed. "Good luck in trying Bunta-chan to congratulate you. You should sit and wait. He will never admit that defeat." Naruto sniffed and pouted. "He is just a bad loser." Realizing that the house was particularly silent, Naruto stood up and walked to the living room where it was the wood crib that Fukasaku had made by hand, delicately carved with many decorative frogs. However, apart from several blue blankets, the crib was empty. "Where's Sasuke?" he asked. "Gamatatsu. Higher!" Gamakichi exclaimed. "Okay," Nichan the younger frog replied, raising his tongue even higher in the air. Clinging to the tongue that rose and fell, Sasuke laughed with delight. Both frogs liked to take him, secretly, in order to play with the baby at ease. After all, they never had a human baby on Mount Mayaboku, and the kid was actually fun to play with. Gamakichi didn't say it to Naruto, but he never liked Sasuke. Maybe it wasn't quite right to judge him. After all, he had never spoken to Guy. He also doubted that the Uchiha would pay him any attention, but didn't like what he saw of him. He thought of Sasuke as rude, egotistical, greedy, and, above all, evil. How the hell Naruto considered him his best friend, Gamakichi could not understand. The guy was aloof with everyone. The baby squealed of joy when Gamatatsu's tongue rose in the air, his little arms waving as if he wanted to fly. Gamakichi also laughed. The Uchiha could have been a waste of DNA, but this baby knew how to have fun with the frogs. Gamatatsu lowered the infant and placed it on the floor, where the latter observed the frogs with an inquiring expression. "What we do now, Nichan?" Gamatatsu asked. Let me think. I know." Gamakichi grabbed the baby with his right hand and raised him until they were at eye level. "Ga," Sasuke babbled, trying to touch the frog's face. "Ba. Da. Okay, kid. I'm going to teach you how to talk," said the frog older. "Eh? But he doesn't say anything," replied Gamatatsu. "That's why we're going to teach him. Sasuke say, Gama." The boy murmured, waving his arms and legs. "No. Gama. Can you say Gama? Gama. Ga-ba da. Gama. Da. Da. Ga. Jiema," Gamma. Ga me. Gamatatsu. The frog younger exclaimed, infuriating his brother. What are you doing? I'm teaching him to say my name. Why the hell is he going to learn your name? It's a good name. It will be his first word. His first word will not be your name. Oh. Why? It's cute. Yeah. You, groaned the baby, making the brothers stop arguing. Sasuke's lips were trembling and his face was getting red, which meant that he was about to throw a tantrum. Both frogs were horrified. Nichan, you scared him. Me? It's not my fault. Crap. What we do now? The baby began to fuss and whimper. As much as Gamakichi rocked him, he showed no signs of calming down. So there you are, a voice said in the distance. The frogs turned just in time to see Naruto move towards them. Gamakichi sighed with relief and turned the baby to face Naruto. Look! Look, Sasuke! It's Papa! The little boy looked at Naruto the very moment he came near them and lifted his tiny arms to be picked up. Naruto also stretched out his arms and held the child, causing Sasuke to grab onto Naruto's jersey and lean his head against his shoulder, cooing softly. Phew! Glad you came, Naruto the elder toad admitted. Gamakichi. Do not take Sasuke without telling anyone. I'm tired of looking for you every day, Naruto replied. We were just playing with him. Yeah. We've been teaching him how to talk, Gamatatsu said. How to talk? We wanted him to say Gamma, but it didn't work. I think the kid is a little slow, Gamakichi said. Naruto glared at him. Sasuke is not slow. Okay. Geez, you are such a protective papa, Gamakichi teased, causing Naruto to blush with embarrassment. Will you stop calling me that? Dia, Sasuke whispered, annoyed. Naruto stopped arguing with Gamakichi and rubbed his little back, trying to calm him down. I know, he thought as he pulled the wallet from his pocket and showed it to the boy. Hey Sasuke. It's Gamma-chan, he said, shaking his frog-shaped wallet. As expected, the baby stretched out his arms and grabbed the wallet. A few seconds later he had put it in his mouth. Naruto could not help but laughing. He didn't mind the drool. Long ago, he had removed all the money of the wallet and filled it with dry leaves to give it volume. Gamma-chan was Sasuke's first toy, and though he had bought some new toys, Gamma-chan continued to be his favorite. With the boy entertained, Naruto said goodbye to the frogs and returned home. It was late December, and the weather was considerably colder. Naruto hoped Sasuke would not get a cold and mentally noted that he had to buy him warmer clothes. Sasuke had grown over the past 5 months, which relieved Naruto. He had been afraid that the jutsu that Itachi used turned Sasuke into a permanent baby, but after only a few weeks since he had brought the boy to Mount Myaboku, he noticed Sasuke had grown several inches and was getting heavier. The first weeks had been chaotic. He didn't know squat about babies and believed Shima would assume the mother role and take care of the little boy. Man, he was wrong. Shima knew very little about how to take care of a human child. Naruto was not exactly a genius, but even he knew that you shouldn't feed a newborn with worms. As a result, he left Mount Myaboku and ventured into baby stores for the first time in his life. Saving the world had earned him a large monetary compensation, but more than half of the money he received was still in Konoha, hidden under his mattress. For that reason, he didn't want to waste his remaining cash in the shop. When he entered the store, he felt immediately out of place. There were women everywhere. Mothers with small children, pregnant women, grandmothers, aunts, sisters. He was the only guy there. But before he had time to flee, the employee cornered him. Good morning. Can I help with something? She asked with a smile. Naruto felt himself sweating from every pore. I need baby stuff. Well, you're in the right place. Have you something in mind? He remembered that Sasuke was sleeping at home, wrapped only in a blanket and an old cloth to serve as a diaper. I think. Clothing and diapers. The employee took him first to the diaper section. Naruto was dumbfounded. How the hell was he supposed to choose diapers? There were diapers from 1,000 different brands, and they were not even by ages. How would he know how much Sasuke weighed? Is there a problem? The employee asked, noticing his embarrassment. I don't know how much he weighs. How do I choose the diapers? Your mother didn't give you a list? The employee asked. She had assumed that the boy had come to buy supplies for his new sibling while his mother was busy at home. Huh? No. I don't have a Kaa-chan, Naruto said, confused. The maid nodded solemnly. A nervous teenager on a baby store and didn't come to buy for a sibling, and also seemed very inexperienced. A teenage father, the employee concluded. At least he is involved in raising the child. How old is the baby? He asked. About a day. Was it born chubby? No, not really. Small and light. Looks like a bald rat. Is it normal? A drop to sweat trickled down the woman's face. It's normal. Eventually, he chose a cheap brand of diapers for babies between 3 and 6 pounds before heading for the clothing section. Naruto didn't know why the employee had followed him instead of helping other customers, but he was grateful. It's a boy or a girl? She asked. A boy. When choosing the clothes, Naruto avoided every one that was too colorful or vivid. He couldn't imagine Sasuke wearing them. He picked black, white, purple, beige, and different shades of blue. But he couldn't resist a small orange-colored t-shirt with a leaf drawn in the middle. After buying a bottle, Naruto put several packages of baby formula in the shopping cart. If the baby was just born, I would advise the mother to breastfeed during the coming months, she advised. Naruto blushed. He doesn't have a mom. She died. The woman looked at him with pity. Poor boy, he will have to raise the child alone. I am so sorry. In that case, I suggest you take this brand of formula. They say it's pretty good. When Naruto finished shopping and paid, the employee handed him a small book. Naruto read the cover, Baby Care for Idiots. Naruto looked at her with bulging eyes. The book is free, she said with a smile. Although he should have felt offended, the book was a great help and Naruto stopped freaking out every time Sasuke started crying. Still, Naruto knew that he wasn't fit to take care of a baby. When he arrived home after going shopping, Sasuke was screaming while Shima tried in vain to calm him down and Fukasaku covered his ears with both hands. As the cloth they used as a diaper was still clean, Naruto assumed that the baby was hungry, so he tried to prepare the baby formula, but he let it burn. It took 2 more tries and a scald on his arm until Sasuke finally could drink his milk. Naruto approached the bottle's nipple slowly into the newborn's mouth. As soon as the nipple brushed his cheek, Sasuke's sucking reflex allowed him to extract the milk. The baby sucked the warm milk eagerly, feeling satisfied as it filled his hungry stomach, until he threw up an hour later on Naruto. After a week of training, Naruto started to get the hang of it. He rarely burnt the formula, stopped putting the diaper backwards, and learned to place a towel on his shoulder when he had to make Sasuke burp. Naruto also realized that the baby had changed. At first, when he wasn't sleeping, he was crying because he was hungry or needed to have his diaper changed. After a few weeks, Naruto noticed that Sasuke seemed more curious when he was awake, watching everything and everyone as if he was trying to understand them, especially Naruto. The boy was able to spend hours looking at him. The book said that babies like to look at bright colors, and Sasuke loved Naruto's blonde hair. Only a few months old, he would constantly try to grab his hair and touch it. To please him, Naruto used to rest his head on the boy's belly and let him touch his hair at will. It had been a surprise when Sasuke, at the time a month old, smiled for the first time. Naruto was having dinner with Fukasaku and Shima while the infant was lying against some pillows away from them. Naruto had the idea to train every day with the frogs and challenged Fukasaku to a battle. Come on, Ji-chan Sanin! It'll be fun! We no longer fight against each other since my first training in Senjutsu. I don't want to spend the day fighting you, Naruto-chan. Naruto laughed and crossed his arms behind his head. I understand. I guess you should retire someday, he teased. What? Are you insinuating that I'm old? There is nothing to be ashamed of. Do not feel bad, we all age someday. Baka! The old frog cried, hitting Naruto's head with his cane. Itai. That hurt like hell. Naruto growled that I didn't say anything. Naruto was interrupted when he heard a loud sound coming from where the baby was, and they all looked at it the same time, wide-eyed. Sasuke was laughing, an actual laugh that had nothing to do with the grimace of scorn that Naruto remembered. He had never seen Sasuke laugh that way, had chuckled during their times as Team 7 but never laughed. Ah. You think this is funny? You think it's funny when I get hit in the head with a stick? Fukasaku looked at the crane and hit Naruto again. Itai. Why did you do that? Naruto yelled, not understanding. Look at Sasuke-chan. Sasuke was still laughing, enjoying the scene. Naruto couldn't help it and also laughed. He got up from the table, picked up the baby and brought him to the grown-ups. I should have guessed. The only times that you smiled was when I said or did something stupid so you could make fun of me, he thought nostalgically. I wonder how many times you laughed after you left us. The closest thing I saw was your crazy grimace and laughter when you fought against someone. Seeing that everyone around him laughed, Sasuke continued to smile at them, knowing he was doing something right that grown-ups approved. Naruto turned the baby to face him and smiled, raising the child at his eye level. You're a brat, you know that? In response, the baby pulled his hair. Naruto had imagined it would be impossible to take care of Sasuke even though he had lost his memories and behaved like a baby. For example, he had seen Sasuke naked half-dozen times and had always been in public baths. Now not only he saw him naked every day but also had to clean his ass every day. How could someone so little make so much crap? There were times when Naruto watched Sasuke waiting for his declaration that it had all been a trick, but it never happened. Not even Uchiha Sasuke would stand idly while somebody took his temperature the baby way or you poked a finger in the diaper to see if it was dirty. It was very strange to see Sasuke in this form, so dependent and innocent, and Naruto missed the Sasuke he had met at the academy and during their missions. However, it was very easy to like this Sasuke. When the boy was not crying or fussing like a little demon, he was really cute and fun. Naruto realized that he liked to cradle him and spend time with him. He also liked to give him his bottle because he made very funny faces while drinking milk. He was nice to play with, so he had gotten him some toys. Naruto realized that when Sasuke was agitated or frightened, letting him hold his hand helped calm him down. He was surprised when, in one of those occasions, Sasuke grabbed his finger with his two little hands and brought it to his mouth to suck on it. He had been disgusted at first, but noticed that the boy was much more serene, gazing at him with his big onyx eyes. On that moment, Naruto felt very close to Sasuke. It was a strange and unfamiliar feeling that Naruto could not name. About Sasuke, he felt admiration and animosity over the years at the academy. When they started to be part of the same team, these feelings progressed to friendship, rivalry, and brotherly love. When he defected from the village in search of power, he felt anger, sadness, and helplessness to bring him back. But he never hated him and didn't think he was able to, regardless of the atrocities he committed. Naruto looked at the child who he held in his arms. Sasuke had fallen asleep, still clutching Gamachan. With one hand, Naruto tucked in his dark blue sweatshirt. Over the past few months, Naruto's feelings changed again. They were not being replaced because the affection he had for his former companion was still there, but they had become different. Naruto didn't know why or how. He wanted to protect Sasuke, look after him, and make sure he was secure and happy. Was it brotherly love? He used to imagine Sasuke as his older brother, but when trying to imagine Sasuke as a younger brother, well, it didn't feel right. He felt attached to the baby, as if he belonged to him. Whatever new feeling he felt was he still considered Sasuke family. When they reached the house, Shima had finished preparing lunch and the table was already set to start eating. Which meant that Naruto wouldn't be able to escape and eat the human food he had bought. It's about time, Shima said. Lunch was getting cold. I'll have to eat that crap again, he thought as he sat at the table, with Sasuke lying on his lap. Aren't you placing him in the crib? Fukasaku asked as he poured a generous bowl of caterpillars. If I do that, he'll wake up. I'll let him sleep on my lap for now, I don't mind. Fukasaku smiled. I see. Shortly after, they started eating. Naruto noticed that Sasuke was awake and recognized the angry cry that meant he was hungry. Bachan Sannin could prepare a bottle? I think Sasuke also wants to have lunch. Sasuke. It was that sound again. Every time they approached him, they would make that sound. Sasuke. He came to realize that this sound meant they were talking about him, or to him. His identity. He was Sasuke. In the beginning, he didn't understand a thing the grown-ups said. They were just confusing sounds said in tones of voice that he understood as being safe when they were in a low, smooth tone, or dangerous when they were high. But with the passage of time, he became more aware as his hearing and vision improved so that he could explore the unknown world around him. It was a world full of sounds, colors, and strange people. He began to realize that he saw the same people every day and they took care of him, feed him, and gave him attention. This led him to trust them. He had come to know them by the different smells and voices, but there was one person who drew his attention. Somehow, this person was different. The touch, smell, voice, and appearance were different from the others. This person was almost always with him, looking after him. It made him feel safe and protected. This person was his favorite. He knew instinctively that he had a connection with that person. He knew they were similar, the same species, and therefore, he felt attached to that person. He knew it was his parent. Something told him that was not his mother. He couldn't justify that certainty, but he didn't doubt it. The person didn't smell like milk, it wasn't mother. The smell, the low voice, the stronger and tough body indicated something else. It was the other parent, the male. His father. Papa, that was the sound they made when pointing to that person. They also called him other names, but they were too many and difficult to remember or speak. So he memorized the word. That person was Papa. Sasuke woke up because his stomach hurt. He was hungry. When he started whining, he recognized the voice and the smell of who held him. Look who woke up. Don't worry, Sasuke, you'll have lunch in a minute, he said. Sasuke didn't understand what he had said, but his familiar presence made him feel safe and happy. When he saw the bottle getting closer, he felt his mouth salivating. Anticipating what was going to happen, he raised his arms to grab the bottle and began to suck the nipple as soon as it touched his lips. He was pleased to feel the hot milk fill his hungry stomach. Sasuke looked at Papa. His hair was so funny, he felt a sudden urge to grab it. When Papa smiled, Sasuke felt very happy because he knew his father had noticed him. See, you won't starve, he said. The baby's fingers moved along the bottle and grabbed Papa's much larger hand, enjoying the warmth and affection that radiated from him. All his baby instincts told him the same thing. He had a connection with this person and all he wanted was to be cared by him. He was this person's son. This was his father. My Papa. Sasuke had finished drinking the milk and Naruto decided to let him sleep on his lap, with his face buried in his shoulder. Shima failed to resist the lovely image and examined the baby's black hair. Damn! It never comes down? She said while trying making Sasuke's tiny spikes of hair on the back of his head to come down. That's how his hair is, Naruto said, laughing. HMPF. The frog snorted. Fukasaku took the opportunity to draw Naruto's attention. Naruto-chan, we need to talk. Realizing that the matter would be serious, Naruto laid Sasuke in the crib and followed the frog master into the garden. What is going on, Sannin-ji-chan? I received a letter from Tsunade-chan. Naruto gulped. What did Bachan said? She asked if we had had some contact with you over the past 5 months. When Sasuke-chan's attack stopped, they hoped would be a matter of weeks till you returned to the village, but you disappeared without a trace. They sent patrols looking for you, even your sensei tried unsuccessfully to find you. Naruto nodded, filled with guilty. He didn't mean to worry his friends. You have been declared missing in action. Because Sasuke-chan also disappeared and the body was never found, they think perhaps you both died. Or that I also defected, Naruto added. Fukasaku nodded. Naruto-chan, what answer do you wish me to give her? Naruto sat on a rock and stared at the blue sky. Inside the house, Sasuke should have fallen asleep. I can't tell them the truth. Not yet. I also cannot bring Sasuke to Konoha, it would be too suspicious. The only thing I can do is to keep looking for the name of Itachi's jutsu. But the frogs that went in search of information found nothing. Even Jiraiya-chan's contacts knew nothing. Naruto's body tensed, and he buried his face in his hands. Naruto-chan, we're not going anywhere like this. We need help. Someone with acquaintances, with access to forbidden information, someone you could trust and who wouldn't betray you or Sasuke-chan. Naruto's eyes widened and he rose so fast it scared the old toad. What was it? Naruto-chan. But rather than elucidate, Naruto ran inside, grabbed a scroll and a pen and began writing a letter. The hooded figure moved slowly through the storm. It was dark and the waning moon poorly illuminated the winding path. Which was perfect, given that the individual didn't want not be seen, much less followed. Between two large boulders lay a miserable hovel, almost destroyed by the elements. Through the small covered window a glimmer of light could be seen inside the housing, which meant that he was being waited. He opened the old door slowly and entered the hut. Inside there was another guy, also hooded, seated at the table next to a burning candle. Upon seeing the visitor, he withdrew the hood, revealing a smiling Uzumaki Naruto. In response, the visitor also removed the hood. Naruto smiled even more. I'm glad you came, the blonde ninja said. Gaara. That's it for part 1. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.